We're closing out on another trip around the sun. We'll take you where else but Times Square. But this year it looks a little different. Plus, just how low are those temperatures going to go? All that and more coming up.
From WQOW, coming to you live in HD. This is Eau Claire's own News 18 10 p.m. report.
From Hong Kong to South Korea, the Sydney Harbour Bridge to Paris, France. 2018 is beginning with a bang all around the globe. And in just a couple of hours, right here in the Chippewa Valley. Thank you for joining us on your New Year's Eve. I'm Emma Wheeler. Claire Seraphin has the night off. Now, many of you may already be singing out Old Acquaintance Being Forgot, so we'll start tonight in Times Square. More than 1 million people are expected to take on those New York streets, but after numerous attacks just this year, from concert shootings in Las Vegas and Manchester to drivers killing crowds in London and New York, city officials are on high alert. ABC's Marcus Moore is in New York with a look at what officials are calling unprecedented security precautions.
New York City this morning in the midst of an unprecedented security effort to protect more than 1 million people expected at Times Square for today's New Year's Eve celebration.
I come to see the moon in the New Year, so now it's my dream coming true.
People from across the globe now witnessing NYPD's security plan in action. Officers in the subways, on the streets, and soon in the air, monitoring the crowds. ABC News granted access to the operations center and its network of 10,000 cameras trained on the crossroads of the world.
There'll be people from not only from NYPD, there'll be people from the state police, the FBI, there'll be people from Amtrak, from New Jersey Transit, from any agency you can think of who's going to be in that operations center that night.
Bomb-sniffing dogs will also be deployed to prevent explosives from making it past the perimeter that stretches for blocks. This couple is visiting from South Africa.
Obviously, it's much more since the last time we came here because of the New Year's Eve, but something that we come from South Africa where the crime rate is quite high, so it's quite nice to see police officers around every single corner. You see them visible.
Officials hope these plans prevent a Las Vegas-style assault from a high perch, the truck attack along this jogging path in October, and just this month, a subway bombing that could have injured or killed scores of people.
Now, officials say over 20 city blocks will be blocked off by law enforcement, so officers will be screening people at nearby hotels and restaurants for things like explosives or weapons. But with that record-breaking security, it's not to take away from what the event is all about, that iconic Times Square ball drop. Made up of more than 2,600 Waterford crystals, falling 141 feet in less than an hour out in New York. This year, Tarana Burke will be pressing the button. She's the founder of the hashtag #MeToo movement, which prompted many victims to speak up and stand up against sexual assault. Now, along with that crystal ball, 3,000 pounds of confetti will soon fly through the air, which is expected to be the coldest air during the celebration in decades. But still, over 1 million people are expected to ring in the New York in Times Square, which could be the third coldest New Year's Eve since the event started in 1907. Well, it's cold in New York, but is it even colder here in the Chippewa Valley? Dan here with a look at our
Emma, we've got bitterly cold and dangerously cold wind chills in place at this time. The skies are clear, typical of an area of high pressure at this time of the year, and of course very cold temperatures to go along with that. Here are some of the readings. 15 below right now here in Eau Claire, 14 below in Medford, 10 degrees below zero up in Amory, 9 below in Menominee. If you factor in the winds, it feels like 29 degrees below zero right now here in Eau Claire, 33 degrees below zero in Medford, and we do have wind chill advisories in effect through noon tomorrow for wind chills as low as 35 below. I'll have more details coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Dan. Now, a Denver, Colorado family is left today without a husband and a father. Early this morning, a gunman opened fire at an apartment complex, killing the sheriff's deputy who responded to the scene.
Some people say it was like firecrackers. It was clearly definite. It was like an exchange of gunfire, and pop pop, and then pop 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 pop, and then return fire.
The deputy's name is 29-year-old Zachary Parrish. He was killed this morning while responding to what authorities believe was a domestic violence call. 4 other deputies were injured but are in stable condition. Authorities in the Denver suburbs say well over 100 shots were fired, 100 just from the suspect. He was fatally shot at the scene. Officials have not yet released his name. They do say that the investigation is expected to take days. Now, a Dunn County man is dead after a fire broke out in his home late yesterday afternoon. Dunn County officials say crews were called out to his home on County Road W in the town of Grant. That was shortly before 5 p.m. Numerous local fire departments responded, including the Dunn County Sheriff's Office and Colfax Fire Department. The Sheriff's Office says the man was found dead in the home when firefighters arrived. He was the only one who lived there. Officials are still investigating both the cause of the fire and the cause of the man's death. His name has not yet been released. Now, across town, a fire in Mondovi this afternoon caused one local business to lose a barn. The fire happened at Loomis Trailer Sales in Mondovi at around 1:30. Fire officials say heavy smoke was already showing when they arrived on scene. The business is located off of Highway 10, and the Buffalo County Sheriff's Department closed all traffic for about 2 hours this afternoon while crews were out there. Officials say the barn is a total loss, but they do not know how many livestock were lost in the fire. What caused it is still under investigation. And in Milwaukee, cold temperatures could be the reason for one man's death. Earlier today, a man was found dead on the city's north side. An autopsy is planned, but the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office says they expect his death to be cold weather related. Authorities say he was found inside of a vehicle behind a home. And with temperatures as low as they are, it only takes minutes to start showing signs of frostbite. So Eau Claire Emergency Management is passing on reminders to stay safe. The team posted this graphic on Twitter this weekend, showing the signs of hypothermia. They say when your body loses heat faster than it can be produced, it's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. So watch out for these signs, things like confusion, stiff muscles, and difficulty speaking. And just because the temperatures are cold and have stayed cold, that does not mean that the lakes are ready for trucks. Police in Muskego are warning drivers to stay off the ice. Officers say the truck was going along the shoreline of Little Muskego Lake when the front end got stuck and sank into the soft ground at the edge of the lake. Luckily, no injuries were reported. The DNR says while the ice is never 100% safe, trucks should not be on the ice until it is at least a foot thick. Well, out with the old year and out with the old bus fares for Eau Claire Transit riders. Starting this week, bus prices will be going up. Single-ride adult passes will be going up to $1.75 per ride. All-day passes will be going from $3 up to $3.75. Eau Claire Transit says the price increase is to cover rising operation costs. And just a reminder, no buses will be running tomorrow because of the holiday. So the first day for these new fares will be on January 2nd. Now, coming up after the break, could those Christmas gift cards be a scam? We'll tell you why some retail experts are saying to check your balance. Plus, after the break, we'll look back on a few of the most memorable icons in music, movies, and television that we said goodbye to in 2017. Keep it here. We'll be back in just 2 minutes.